Hello, Josef Bartz here from josefbartz.de, from what we call Lebenspraxis, where we look at life in a holistic fashion. What we're doing and what is very important for us is a morning routine, that you wake up in the morning and you take charge of your day. You do things that are important for you, and that can be things like for your own development, that can be things like self-care, but that you're not being reactive but proactive in the morning. And we have our morning routine streams, and the first 100 are public on our YouTube channel, and everything after is for our patrons. So if you want to dive further into it, go to our Patreon page and become a patron. One thing that I think makes sense to do in the morning is to breathe. That's one good option to choose from the several options to choose from. Movement shall we always, a bit exaggerating, but shall we always present in the morning routine. And another thing that we very regularly do is some breath work, and that can be as little as 1 or 2 minutes or up to 30 minutes in the morning. And one thing that I really like to do is the paced breathing, and my friend Bruno Gistozzi taught me this paced breathing. But it's a thing that is happening in various breathing systems and arts. The concept is very simple, is that your breath in is similarly long to your breath out. So you can either do this with a timer, or there are these paced breathing apps where you don't have to do any counting yourself, and you even have a visual of an expansion and a shrinking, and a sound to this, like ooh, oh, ooh, oh, something like this. Or if you don't have an app like that, or when I lead the morning routine, I don't use an app. I just let people do the counting by themselves in the head. And it makes sense to count to something from 4 to 6 for most people. I usually count until 6. I really like that. And in the first breaths, I start with 4, counting to 4, then counting to 5, and then counting to 6. So I would count to 6, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's already enough, basically, just to do this for a few minutes. And you can do this sitting, you can do this standing, you can do this lying down, and it does something to you, does something especially to your mind, how you feel, how you perceive yourself and the state that you are in. And then, because I like to lead from there into movement, from the breathing into the movement, I like to integrate movement into this breathing. This is what I want to show you now. So the first thing that I do if I sit like this, in this crossed sit, is to add the spine. So when I breathe out, the spine is shrinking. And when I breathe in, the spine is expanding. So flexion, breathing out, and extension, breathing in. Flexion, breathing out, extension, breathing in. And pacing it with the breathing. So when I count to 6, the number that I like, then I make sure on the 6 I arrive at the bottom point, and on the 6 I arrive at the top point. That might not be the full range of motion from my spine, because I don't want to move too fast, so I might move with less range. And then I do this for a bit, and the next thing that I do is I add the legs. And the legs also, when I breathe out, I bring the legs up like this, and when I breathe in, I expand. I bring the legs out, down and I expand the spine. And then it looks like this. Breathe out, 6. Breathe in, 6. Breathe out, 6. Breathe in, 6. Breathe out, 6. Breathe in, 6. And the third thing that I add is the arms. And I add in the arms the external rotation and the internal rotation. And when I breathe out, I go into internal rotation, so everything shrinks in. And when I breathe in, I go into external rotation. And you see, it looks a bit like a cliche Buddha meditation, yoga position. Yeah. So I breathe out, I go here, I breathe in, I go here. Yeah, and in my head I count until 6 if I don't use a technical help from outside. In and out. Boom. Yeah, and so on and so forth. And you can do this for as short as 1-2 minutes, this thing, or you can do it longer. And what I personally like is to do this whole paced breathing thing for something between 5 to 10 minutes. And from there, because I'm already moving, when I'm doing this, there's already movement happening. It's very easy to go into the next step of movement, into a tiny bit higher intensity. From there I go into standing and move from there, or into a stretch or something like that. All right? Okay.